Welcome to the Redirect Podcast. My name is Abigail Hewins.
And I'm Emily Rojas. The Redirect Podcast is a show where we shift the conversation back to books. We discuss themes from some of our favorite fictional books and how those themes show up in real lived experiences.
On today's episode, we're catching up on book news, our reading journeys, and other book-related topics.
But first, if you've been enjoying our podcast, we would like to humbly ask that you support us in a few very simple ways. Just leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you're listening to this that lets you give us a review and let us know that you're loving the show.
We'd also love for you to follow us on Instagram at Redirect Podcast. And finally, if you really, really like the show, we'd love for you to personally share it with a friend. Sharing our show with a friend is the best way to help get us in people's ears and grow our community of book-loving nerds.
So here we are. We're doing a little catch-up, catch-all, general information episode. So how are you?
I'm good. Personally, I'm really glad that we're doing this.
Yeah.
Because we're like a quarter of the way through the year.
True.
It's great to catch up on our reading goals, and also the last few episodes have taken like a lot of brain power.
True that. A lot of reading.
Kind of excited just to like have fun with
it. So. Agreed.
Anyways, how are you? Well, in personal news, I mean, by the time everyone listens to this, I'll have already seen you in person. But I'm going to see you in person this weekend.
We'll be physically together when this airs, so that be...
that is so true.
Yeah. Anyway, so my reading has it's been suffering, personally, but I think something I'm trying to accept this year is I was going for the goal of 90 books, and I'm not giving up on that. But this is the first time where I'm like really behind on my, Storygraph will tell you, I'm 3 books behind. And I'm just like learning to be like, that's fine. It's okay. I've never been behind on my reading goals before, but
only 3 books behind.
No, it's manageable. And I always read a lot at the end of the year, like over the holidays and stuff. So I feel like if you get behind, then you can always catch up towards the end. So I'm not stressed about it, but it's definitely impacted my reading. And I'm behind on my goals. But I'm still reading. I'm still getting some books in. So no worries.
Good. So, all right, let's get into it. You mentioned a little bit about your reading goals. So, what are some highs and lows of like your 2023 reading roster so far?
Yeah, so it's been a lot of lows, to be honest. Like, I haven't really loved any of, besides the PETA fan fiction. You guys know how I feel about that. Enough said, which I have read so far this year. But I've read a lot of like, okay, that was fine books. But I finally read my first 5-star book of the year, which was Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. And you've probably seen this a million places. I feel like it is all over.
Well, you know what? It's I was at a book club on Sunday and someone was talking about it.
Really? It's everywhere, I feel like.
Yeah, people were talking about it, yeah.
There's mixed reviews out there. Some people don't like it because it's really heavily about video games. And so I think if you really don't like video games, but I'm not like a gamer by any means. So, but I still really enjoyed it. So I don't think that's a prerequisite. But it is definitely a sad book. Like, it's sad from page 1 to the end in a like melancholy way, which I really enjoy personally, but I'm just putting that out there.
Can't really.
So if you want to cry, like if you want to hack yourself into crying, this would be a really good book to read because I was genuinely weeping at certain parts.
Crying hack.
Yes. But it's about 2 friends.
Therapy dupe.
Yeah, it's therapy dupe. It's about 2 friends who meet, basically Sadie and Sam, and Sadie's older sister is in the hospital for cancer treatment, the children's hospital. They're little kids at this point. And then Sam is in the hospital recovering from like a horrific car accident, which has kind of broken his foot into like 70 different pieces. And so Sadie is like the only one who's able to get Sam to talk, and they bond over playing video games. And he has like not spoken since the accident until they meet in the children's playroom of the hospital. And so they grow up and eventually make their own video game together. And it takes place over, it must be like 40 years, coming from when they're kids, maybe 30 or something, but until they're fully adults, and so many things happen. But it's just a really It's a sad book, but it's really good. So I really recommend it, but you have to be in the right headspace. Like, know that you're not getting like a fun, chill Hank.
Maybe I'll pick that one up. Like, it doesn't sound like a great summer or spring
I
read,
wouldn't say so.
but maybe like whenever I want to be feeling like a little sad.
Yes, if you're in like a sad
maybe, like,
place.
I don't know if I ever really want to feel that way though.
Yeah, but it's
That's
kind
just
of
me.
like
We're different in that way.
it's not like a sad book in the sense that it has like a sad, like it ends in a sad place or something. It's more just about, I don't know, there's just more, it's like more about friendship and grief and loss, so there is that. But it's more sad in like a nice, like beautiful way. And then versus just like being sad, if that makes sense. I don't want to spoil what happens, but yes, you will cry, so just know that, I think. Anyways, that's my ultimate high so far. That's the only book I've rated 5 stars this year, but it was really good, in my opinion. And then I also read One Last Stop, but I really want to mostly talk about why you said you almost DNF'd it.
Yeah, so I saw you posted on your Instagram at Emily Rojas Writer. And follow her, that you loved it. Honestly, so I read it last year, last fall, or like last summer or something. I just thought it was boring. And I think...
Yeah, that's valid.
So, all right, so let's back up, because there's people listening to us talk about this. For people who don't know the book, it's a sapphic romance about this girl who lives in New York, and she falls in love with somebody who she only ever sees on the subway.
Yeah.
And there ends up being this twist where, through some kind of weird science fiction way, Jane, who is bound to the subway through weird time travel things. I just don't know why I didn't like it that much. I don't think I loved the characters that much.
Yeah.
And I love a lot of different, like, sapphic romances. This just wasn't it for me.
Yeah.
I think the science fiction part kind of threw me, like...
It was a little weird.
But, I mean, I think maybe also it was in the right time for me. Like, I'm reading right now, I think... Well, I'm going to get to this when we talk about our DNFs for this year. But I am right now reading The Spanish Love Deception, which, like, I've had on the hold from the library for like 30 weeks or something.
It's so popular.
And like, and everyone like on Bookstagram and booktok and everyone like has personally recommended, oh my gosh, you have to read Spanish Love Deception. And it's just not hitting for me. Like, it has slowed down my reading, and I just don't think it's the right time. So I don't know that it's not a good book. I just think it might not be the right time for me. And it might just not have been the right time for me for One Last Stop.
See, I think with One Last Stop, what you said about it being boring, like, I actually genuinely love, like, a romance where nothing happens, but the two people fall in love and there's, like, no conflict. Like, I would be cool with that forever.
Got it.
And there's very little conflict. The only conflict is that this girl is basically stuck in time. But it's not like they don't have conflict. And so I think that's probably why I liked it so much. But if you want like stuff to happen, really not much happens in this book. And I have to say I also didn't really love the ending of it, so it wasn't full 5 stars.
You know what? Okay, so you watch Food Network. Yeah. You know, oh God, what's her name? She's on the new Netflix iteration. So this isn't Food Network, but the new Netflix Iron Chef, the host, one of the hosts. What's her freaking name?
I do not know.
That's who I imagined Jane being.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I have no idea who you're talking about. Kristen Kish. Kristen Kish. Yeah, that definitely tracks with the description of Jane.
Right? Yeah. That's who I imagined Jane the whole time.
That's valid.
And also, I have imagined her a couple times. It's kind of like Melanie Linsky. Do you watch Yellow Jackets?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Well, for the listeners, Melanie Linsky, anytime I read a book about like a housewife, I always imagine it's her. And usually when I read a book, like in the last year, I read One Last Stop, and then also, oh my God, that Christmas book. Man, this is not an exciting conversation that I'm having with myself.
Christmas book.
Oh my God, what? It's a lesbian Christmas romance.
I'm sorry.
How many of those could there be?
Probably more than you would think.
It is called Kiss Her Once for Me. Okay.
Yeah.
There is a butch Asian lesbian in that one, and I imagined her being Kristen Kish. So Kristen Kish
She's
is
playing a lot of roles for a non-actress.
yes. And I read another one. I read a third one with a butch Asian lesbian.
Is this like a stereotype that I didn't know about?
I don't know. I read one for book club. It wasn't good, so I'm not going to recommend it. I'm not going to say what the name of it is because I don't want to drag her.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at all. But, okay, yeah, so Kristen Kish, just so you know, you are that in my brain.
Okay. Shout out,
Appreciate
Kristen.
you.
If you want to come on the pod and talk about your alter egos, we will have you. Okay. Do you want to talk about books you've read that you really liked?
Sure. Well, first of all, so if you listen to our goals episode, I very emphatically was like, I don't set number goals. But I kind of wish I did because I have read 35 books this year.
Insane. That is so many.
I know. Like, I just have
like
been
that
on it.
sometimes, yeah.
It just happens like that. And I've just been on a tear. Some of them have been audiobooks. So, I mean, I have consumed their 35 books?
Yeah.
But, yeah, it counts as we've established.
Mm-hmm.
So I also want to clear the record that since the last episode that you listened to, I have read Peta's Games, so now I can speak intelligently on that.
Yes.
When I listened to it back, I realized, oh my god, like I've read it since then, but when we recorded the fanfiction episode, I hadn't. So that's probably my top of the year.
Honestly, yeah. Honestly, it's the best thing I've read all year.
I have,
unironically,
I have told so many people about it, and I have told people, I learned how to convert a fan fiction into an ebook so you can read it on your e-reader.
Amazing.
So if you need information about that, DM me at Redirect Podcast and I'll tell you. But I implore you.
Read it.
I implore you.
You have to.
If you were a Hunger Games girly, you have to read this.
It is that good.
It's that good.
It is. It's that good.
Ixie Grace, come on the
Please.
pod. So, okay, but another book I loved, which I think was one of your tops last year, was Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren.
That's another one that will make you cry. Like, it's not necessarily a fun hang either, but it's so good.
I think I texted you. I was like, is there drugs in this book? Like, because I just couldn't stop reading it.
It's addicting.
And yes, I picked it up last summer from a little free library, and it's just been sitting on my shelf. And I finally was just like, oh, okay, like, I guess I'll pick this up. And I could not put it down. I read it in like a day.
Yes.
It is so good.
Yes.
I realized I love a time jump.
Yes. Me too.
That is just one of my favorite things in this book.
Especially in a romance.
Chapter by,
I would say. Yeah.
Yes. I love young love.
I love it. I freaking love it.
I love young love. So this book has young love. It has alternating times.
Yes.
So every chapter flips back and forth between present day. I love the whole thing of like something happened, but you don't know.
Yes, I love that.
I mean, that is the addictive part of the book, is that you're like, what happened in this freaking story?
And you just keep edging closer and closer and closer.
Oh my god.
It's insane.
Christina Lauren. They are amazing. So after I read that, I like immediately downloaded the Unhoneymooners and was like, I need to read more from Christina Lauren. Yeah, it was cute. Not at the caliber.
Love in Other Words. No.
But I'm begging you guys,
read it.
If you need a really good romance. And then like the Love in Other Words, it's like I'm looking at my March spreadsheet here. I read that on March 2nd. And then like 5 other books I read this month were all romance because it got me on like a romance.
It gets you on a kick.
Yeah, so it just kind of like pulled me
back.
That
book is like the last book that made me like, okay, tomorrow made me cry, but that book made me like like sob. Like I couldn't put the book, like I couldn't see through my tears kind of crying, you know. It was very...
It's funny because you texted me that. You were like, that book made me cry before it was done. So I was like, I really had my guard up and I was like, oh, I'm going to cry. And I didn't.
Oh, that's interesting.
But I mean, I still loved it so much, and I still like had the feels. I just think the different things make us cry.
Yeah, definitely.
But I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I think like there's a lot of discussion in the world and in the genre about like the ultimate book boyfriend.
Yeah.
And for me, it was this guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know. I'm
I don't
so
remember
bad
the
at
characters
remembering
of
names
books.
of characters. Like, as soon as I finish the
Characters.
book, it's out of my mind completely to never be
Literally.
thought
And
of
I
again.
love him so much, but what happened? Oh, Elliot.
Elliot.
So, Elliot to
Yeah.
me is the ultimate book boyfriend.
I agree. I don't.
And
Yeah.
so that was it
Yeah.
for me. But then besides that, okay. The Circle. I need to talk to someone about The Circle. The Circle series, there are 2 books, The Circle and The Every. It is dystopian.
Okay.
It's like a sci-fi dystopian thing.
Okay.
So it's the first one is set in the very near future.
Okay.
And it's like a social media tech company on the Bay Area. Is The Circle.
Oh,
And
it's
then
available
the main
on
character.
Libby. I'm borrowing it right now.
Oh my
I'll
god.
read it. Okay.
Oh my god.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
So the main character, May, is a new employee at the Circle. And she's so excited and inspired. She's like a recent college graduate. And, you kind of get inside this organization, this company, the Circle, and there starts to become this like creepy feeling of they're really blurring the lines of like people's right to privacy and what they call the right to know, like the right to knowledge. Like I don't want to give things away, but like basically chipping away at basically any sense of privacy. And they're kind of slowly becoming this like monopoly, like a mega monopoly. And it will make you really, really evaluate your participation with social media in the online world.
Oh, no.
Like it, in a way that it's just like, oh my gosh. I mean, it's just like what we talked about in our dystopians episode, taking one thing about our society now and turning it
like
up
blowing
to
it out.
show what it could be.
Yeah.
And like, while our world is certainly not at this point yet, like it really makes you think. And so The Every is the sequel to that book that came out in 2021.
Okay.
It hit the right spot for me.
Well, I can't wait to read it. I love a dystopian.
The one thing I will caution about The Circle is that the Circle doesn't really have chapters. It's just separated into like 3 parts.
Okay.
So I don't love that because it never feels like there's a good place to stop. Yeah. But anyways,
okay, maybe
you'll like it, maybe you won't.
I'll let you know.
I need you to try.
At least we can talk about it. Amazing.
Yeah. So, any DNFs? Did you not finish anything?
Okay, so I did not like a book that you recommended on this very pod. I did finish it, but I was close, man. And at this point, it was sunk cost fallacy. I was like, okay, I have to get through this. I did not like Anon Please by Demois. I did.
That's fine.
First of all, I just thought, I thought the main character was the worst. And I don't like that. I don't like when I can't root for someone. You know, like I need to like the person who's narrating. And
I will give you that.
Yes.
Cricket is kind of
she sucks. And it also seems like she's not aware of it. Like even writing this, obviously she used a ghostwriter, but it's supposed to be fictionally autobiographical. I'm assuming there's a lot of it based in reality. And it seems like she doesn't even realize that she sucks. Like, she doesn't learn her lesson. It's like, oh, my friends just don't understand. But it's like, you're risking their lives, like their livelihood, and you are being so self-centered, and you, like, hate on your friends. And so I didn't love that. And I also saw one review that was like, if this is what passes for romance in the heterosexual world, like, you guys, are you okay? So I'll just say that I did not like the romance.
Okay, that is fair. The romance in that book is...
It's like, what was the point of even putting it in there? I think...
Cringe.
It's very
It was
weird.
just to have some smut.
Yes. And
like some marketability.
I also don't like that when there's something in there. Like, if it makes sense, then it makes sense. But if it's just thrown in there, there's a weird sexting interaction. I'm like, this doesn't do anything. It has nothing to do with the plot. So, and the guy kind of sucks as well. And I also didn't like it because I think, like, the real story behind Demois, allegedly, is that she is, like, some kind of socialite, wealthy woman. And I just didn't like this I understand it's a fiction book, but it's also kind of marketed as if it's the real story. And it's like, I don't think
The characterization that she's a normie.
Yes, and that she was like putting her whole life at risk and whatever. I just don't know that that's necessarily true. So that took a little away from me, but I just didn't love that book, in my opinion. But I wonder it was still like a very quick read, and I still like parts of the behind the scenes into like what it would be like to run an account like Des Moines, how much time and mental energy that takes up, and how do you decide what to post and what not to post. Like, it's so powerful. And so, also a minor thing that bothered me, I just didn't like how some celebrity names were changed and some weren't. I'd rather just change everyone, whatever.
Yeah.
So that was my critiques of that. But I did finish it. I do think it's okay. It just wasn't for me.
Okay, fair enough. I wonder if I had... I listened to it on audiobook. I wonder if I had read it, if I would have felt more similarly to you.
Yeah.
Like, because there's something about... I feel like you can be... I feel like I am more forgiving of audiobooks.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my time isn't being as consumed.
That's so true,
like,
yeah.
You can multitask.
I agree.
So I think there might be an element of that.
Yeah.
But I can see how you don't like it, and we're allowed to not like the same thing.
For sure.
So I didn't like One Last Stop. So.
Yeah, exactly. We're offering different perspectives here for you, the listeners.
Yeah, there we go.
And I said, TBH, I'm not going to finish Making Rumors, which we read for an episode.
Bad book.
It was not a good book, but if you're really interested again in Ken Clay's personal life, then you might really like it.
and his dog.
And his dog. Oh my gosh. And his crush on the receptionist. But I might come back. I only have like 2 or 3 chapters left. Obviously I tried to read most of it
Just
for the episode.
finish it so you can add it.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, but it's indefinitely on pause for now, So those are my DNFs.
Okay. So, like I said, I might drop the Spanish Love Deception.
Yes.
I have it from the library,
Valid.
so if my loan runs out,
It's like, who cares?
I'm just like, I'm 40% of the way through the book. I'm just like, well, I don't know. Maybe I should come back to it later.
Yeah, maybe like try again.
I don't think it's a bad book or anything. It's just like not fully pulling me in.
There's books I've started and I couldn't get into them, and then maybe like a year later I come back and I'm like, oh, okay, then I fly through and I really like it. Sometimes it's just not at the right time, Yeah. So that's fine.
Another book I dropped the audiobook of My Life in France by Julia Child. So I'm a Julia Child stan.
Sure.
I really love her as a person. And I think she's really cool. I relate to her being really tall.
Yeah.
and being like a childless career woman, just kind of like vibing out and living her life. I love that she loves food. I love her as a person. Who she was before she was dead. But so that's why I wanted to listen to her audiobook. But I will caution to you, the audiobook there's a lot of description about food and less about her life.
Yeah.
And I just kind of was like, I don't know if I want to listen to that much about French food.
Yeah.
But
thank you.
Love it. And it makes me really want to go to France.
Yes.
Et cetera, et cetera.
But that's not what I'm looking for. See, the bar is like Prince Harry, I want every page to be about your life. I don't need any filler. And the other bar on the other side is Ken Clay's Making Rumors, which is way too much about his life, and he doesn't realize that the most interesting thing about him is that he witnessed Fleetwood Mac.
I'm kind of like, look, Julie Child, you're so interesting.
Yeah.
But like the most interesting thing about you is like how you turned out to like basically invent the Food Network.
Yes.
But you're talking about like coq au vin.
Like too much. Yeah.
So I still love you, Julia Child. I just couldn't dedicate 11 hours of my life to your audiobook. Yeah. So that was a DNF for me.
Yeah.
But that's okay because like I said, like we've said on the podcast before, you gotta just sometimes drop a book for the sake of your reading.
Yes, because a bad book can really take you out for like months, honestly.
Yeah,
so
it really can.
Just keep going, Don't feel obligated.
Yeah, drop a book if you don't like it.
Amen.
Cool. So releases that we're looking forward to in April. It's springtime. We're gonna shift into like a spring reading mood.
Yes, and I can't wait.
So what's on the horizon, and just generally, Emily, what are you looking for in a good spring read? Spring.
What do I look for in a spring read?
Wait,
What?
Say that again. You cut out for a
Oh,
second.
I was just saying spring. Like, what do I look for in a spring read? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I don't think I have a mood for spring that I actually, sometimes spring to me makes me like the sadder books more, which is odd. I understand.
Huh.
But something about the changing of seasons, like just has like a nostalgia thing. I guess more nostalgia. I like more, not necessarily sad, but maybe like revisiting something or books that are kind of about nostalgia. I would like stuff like that. I don't know why that thought. To me, spring and nostalgia are like they go together hand in hand. But also I feel like in spring though, I'm more busy. Like I work for a school,
Mm.
so April and May are really busy for me at work. So I definitely read less in the spring and it'll pick back up in the summer. And just like the weather's nice, so it's nice to go outside more
Mm.
and go, hike or do something. So that's kind of where I feel in the spring. What about you?
I don't know. I am kind of maybe feeling, one of my goals was to read more fantasy, and I feel like spring might be a good time to do
For
that.
sure.
Like it's kind of giving like a Lord of the Rings, like
Yeah.
the Shire
Yeah,
kind
sure.
of feeling. And
I'm sure you're right.
yeah, I don't know. I just kind of feel like, yeah, it's nice outside. Like
Yes.
makes me want to be outside,
Yeah.
read books that probably take place outside.
Sure.
So anyways, I'm giving that a try. The very popular series, A Court of Thorn and Roses.
I've heard so much about
I'm
this.
sure you've seen it.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know anything about it except for it's a very popular fantasy series.
Uh-huh.
And so the first book is just about to come off hold for me. And I'm going to dip a toe
Let me know
into
what you
that.
think.
So.
Yeah, I've never
I will.
tried that.
And releases that you're looking forward to in April.
So,
Anything exciting?
I wrote The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. Sally is a great thriller writer if you like thrillers. One of my favorites by her is called The Mother-in-Law. It's, like a domestic thriller, so that's kind of her vibe. So I really like her writing. Maybe I like thrillers in the spring. I don't know. I feel like it's a good time to get into them.
You should read some Lucy Foley then.
Okay.
I think I
Yes.
recommended it before.
Yes.
But
I've read the guest
that
list by her, but I think I have the other one you talked about on hold on Libby. The
Yeah.
Paris Apartment,
that
right?
might be a good thing the Paris Apartment and the Hunting
Yeah,
Party are two that
yeah,
I've read.
I need to read
I
those.
think that might be a good way to jump you back
Yeah.
into reading.
And then I put The Maid's Diary by Lorith Ann White. She's pretty much one of my favorite authors. She does thrillers, I think, really well. And it came out this month already, but I haven't read it yet, so I put that on my new releases I'm looking forward to because I definitely want to get that one and give it a read. What about you?
So obviously at the end of this month, Happy Place by
Yes,
Emily
of
Henry
course.
is coming out.
And we will
So,
be discussing that.
Yes. The week after it comes out, we'll be doing a book club on it.
Yes.
So if you want to join in, or if you want to be
Yeah.
part of that conversation,
Be sure to
warned.
pre-order that.
But I'm really excited about that.
Me too.
And then also on the same day, April 25th, The Wellness Trap by Christy Harrison comes out. So obviously that's nonfiction.
Yeah.
But Christy Harrison is a registered dietitian and master of public health, an intuitive eating counselor, and her first book, Anti-Diet, was pretty revolutionary for me. And she brings a really like science-based approach to kind of like debunking a lot of wellness myths.
Sure.
And her next book, The Wellness Trap, is all about the wellness industry and like the beyond just like how dieting, quote unquote, we don't really do that anymore. Now it's all about wellness.
Yeah.
But there's like a whole industry that's built on telling you like, you need these like powders and
Right.
and like supplements and all this stuff, and like you need to spend all this money and think about this all the
Yeah.
time, and how like we're kind of getting sold wellness as like a virtuous thing,
Right.
and like an ethical mandate, like you should be well,
Right.
and you should value wellness. So anyways, I'm
Yeah, that sounds
really
really good.
looking forward to reading her, or I'm going to get it on audiobook. But I'm really looking forward to listening to The Wellness Trap.
Yeah.
Because again, she's super knowledgeable and brings a really great science-based approach to stuff. So I'm sure I'll learn a
Yeah, that
lot.
sounds
And
really
I'm really
good.
looking forward to reading that.
Very good. Can't wait to
So,
hear about it.
yeah.
Okay, now can we transition to what I've been dying to talk about, which is our thoughts on the Daisy Jones and the Six TV adaptation. And so if you haven't watched that yet and you don't want to be spoiled, just go ahead a while. I'll put a timestamp in our show notes of when we stop talking about this, but
Yeah.
okay. What are your overall for like just straight off the bat? You've watched all the episodes. What are your first initial thoughts about it?
My first thing is, so, whew, I did not cry when I read the book. But I sobbed my heart out
Yeah.
at the last episode. And it was so funny because I was watching it like finishing it up right around the time Zach gets home from work. So he walked in the door and I was like,
Yeah.
like shaking and like, you know,
Yeah.
I loved it. I mean, there were some significant changes,
Sure.
especially towards the
Yeah.
end. So, namely, and this is something we've talked about offline, but we can bring it here.
Yeah.
In the book,
Uh-huh.
allegedly,
Uh-huh.
you know, we hear from Billy and Daisy their account of things
Sure.
that nothing physical happens
Right.
between them. But they definitely make out and stuff.
Yes. Heavily.
Yeah, and Billy, like, in the book, he just, like, takes a swig of tequila.
Yes.
But he actually, like, does more than that as his, like, relapse.
Right. In the show, yeah.
I mean, the ending was definitely different. Camila didn't go to Daisy and
Yes.
say, like, you need to... That was a big change. How did you feel about
that? Was the greatest loss for me because I think... And really through the whole adaptation, not just the end, but the end kind of really hits it home. I feel like the TV adaptation took a lot of Camilla's power away. Whereas in the book, I feel like they tried to give it to her by having her allegedly sleep with Eddie or whatever. And I liked that. I actually did like that change, that it was them, hooking up. But I felt like in the book, and obviously this is her looking back on her life, and so maybe this isn't how it really happened, whatever. But I felt like she was so like, he is my husband. He is not going to leave us. And I know what I signed up for. And I know he's a rock and roll. I know he has these problems, but I'm not, like, he's not going to leave us. And so sure of herself. And I felt like they took so much of that away from her. And I just thought that at least at the end, she could have, I feel like that moment was a mistake to cut. I loved the adaptation. I thought they did a great job. The cast was perfect. I wouldn't change any one of them. So many of the changes I loved, but that one change I was like, I really just wish they had kept that scene in with Camilla telling Daisy, like, you need to go.
I agree-ish.
Yeah.
But I also think one thing when I was reading the book is I was like, this is so unrealistic.
Sure.
Like I don't know any like 20-something wife and mom
Sure.
whose husband's a rock star. I mean, I don't know anyone
Yeah.
like that, period. But if I did, I wouldn't imagine that they would be like so secure in themselves.
Yeah.
Like the way that she tells it, and again, this is a big difference between the book and the TV show.
Right.
The book, it's their, 1990s selves talking about the
Sure.
70s. But mostly in the TV show, it's just the flashbacks.
Right.
So, yeah, there's this dissonance between what they said happened and what really happened. But I just think...
I mean, I agree with
she
you.
would have been more insecure than that.
I agree with you. So I think keep everything, but leave that last scene. Because in the book, that is one scene that is verifiable because Julia, the daughter, was there and verifies that that's really what happened. I just think even if she's crying, even if she's fighting with Billy, but then she has this one moment where she gets to go to Daisy and say, like, you need to go. Like, this isn't right for you. And it's not good for him either. Like, I just felt like, and this is a choice. I feel like they took some of Camilla's power away to give to Daisy. Like, she saved herself. She was able to make that, she was able to tell Billy to go and let him go on her own. And so I do like that. As another option. I don't have any, like, if it was completely separate, I would be like, oh yeah, I love that. I love that she was able to let him go. And I think that makes it the whole situation makes it a little more confusing in the TV version of why Camilla would be so, like, oh, you guys go get back together because I'm dead now. Like, because she was so much more insecure and more like, she didn't have that detachment,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Because, like, yeah, the way that Camilla is in the book is that she's like, she kind of understands, like, Billy loves Daisy.
Yeah.
But he loves me more.
Yeah.
And he's not going to leave me. But in the TV show, she's like, if you if you say that you love her and if you fall in love with her, then I'm going to leave you.
Yeah.
And so that to me is the biggest difference.
Yeah.
It's like, book Camilla knew for sure that he loved Daisy. So, but I think to your point about taking power away from Camilla to give to Daisy, their last show that they play, they come off stage before the encore, and they're like making out or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's just like run away, and like I'm just gonna be like broken with you and stuff. And then Daisy's like, no, like,
I really did like that moment though.
I love, like, you know, like I don't want that for
I don't
you.
want to be
like,
broken.
And that's showing that she does love him.
Yeah.
I want to be great.
Yeah.
I don't want to be broken.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be broken. And then the biggest change that just had me, this is where it started just flooding open for me, was when she leads the Where Do We Stand by herself.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps.
Oh my God. And then she sings it by herself and she looks at him and she's like, go. And then he runs to be with Camilla.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, that is love.
Yeah.
Is wanting the person that you love to be happy.
Yeah.
Even if it's not with you.
Yeah. That is love. No, I definitely liked it. And I think, like, had that been what happened in the book, I also would have loved it. And so, yeah, I don't hate any of the changes. I think they were all good. But I just, if I was making it, I would have kept that one scene with Camilla and Daisy. Because I just liked that. And I didn't love the, like, Camilla leaving Billy part.
Yeah.
But I understand why.
But the payoff of the whole thing is so I get why also they couldn't do the thing where Julia reveals who she is.
Yeah.
Like they did in the book, because it would have been a little sticky and like weird to explain. But it's revealed, but she, you know, reveals it through a conversation with her dad,
which I liked a lot.
And instead of an email or like a letter from Camilla, it's a video.
I liked that a lot too.
Oh my God. And then you realize she's wearing a wig.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, cancer. Oh my God. And
which is like a red herring because everyone is clearly wearing an awful wig. So you're like, oh, they just threw that on here. But then you're like, oh, this is supposed to be a wig.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end, sorry.
So at the end, so Julia, Billy and Camilla's daughter, shows the video. You see her showing the video separately to Billy and Daisy, and so they both are on the same page. About what Camilla's wishes are, and then at the end you see he goes to her house.
I liked that,
and she opens the door.
It was perfect.
I was just like,
it was perfect.
Oh,
that's all you could ask for. That is what we discussed when we talked about the book was. Obviously, he calls her, but to have that little confirmation of him knocking on the door and the smiling at each other, and it's just really emotional.
I know, it made me so happy.
But it's kind of hard because I saw someone actually, and I really want to talk about this. I saw someone compare the ending to the ending of How I Met Your Mother, and do you feel
how dare
how dare there is something about that that's a little hard for me to think about, okay, were you just I think the problem is you never really get a good read of did Billy really, in this one, I think in the book they did a little bit better job of did he really love Camilla, or was he just well, I have a kid with her, this is the right thing to do, she's gonna be good for me. I feel there's still questions, and then it's well, did he just kind of do what he had to do and then eventually finally got to be with the one he really loved? Or did he really love Camilla and was devastated and never even thought about Daisy, and then finally was oh, she wants me to be happy, So I feel it's a question.
No, I think I feel from the book and the TV show, my take is that he really did love both of them.
Yeah.
And I think it's possible to love two people.
Sure. I agree. I fully agree, but I'm just... you know,
But I don't
there's
love the
some
comparison
similar
to Ted and Robin.
to be fair.
I don't love that. I don't love
Except
that.
worse, because yeah, Ted's dead wife wasn't like, "Hey, go be with Robin and be happy."
Exactly.
She was just like, "Wow, my husband loved me," and dead. You know, oh, I guess he didn't love me.
It's also different because Ted wasn't married to his wife before he met
True. Tracy.
Robin, you know?
Oh yeah, no.
Or, yeah.
Yeah. Tracy. Oh. Tracy was the wife.
Like he wasn't
married
he didn't
when he
already
met
know
Robin.
his
Yeah.
wife.
Yeah.
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 And Billy was, so, but yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm not a Robin
No,
fan.
me either. And I hate that ending. I love the Daisy Jones ending much better, but anyways, I overall loved it. I love the music. I want them to go on tour. I know that's unrealistic because they're actors and not musicians. I don't care. I want them in their like full outfits. I would dress up like it was the 70s, so I would pay for that. I would pay good money for that.
I know, it felt so real.
It did.
And also, I had a few moments where I was like, I would come out from like seeing them as characters and I would see them as actors.
Yes.
And I was like, really like, I wonder how this feels for Riley Keough to be acting like a big famous musician during a time when her grandfather was like a big famous
I was wondering about that too. Like
it's towards the end of his career, but she must have felt like some sort of connection to that.
Yeah, I was thinking so much about that, and
wait, for those who don't know, her grandfather is Elvis.
Yeah. And how like if the drug use, if that came up, I mean, she didn't know him. She never really knew him, but I just wonder if there's any kind of feeling of like, you know, if you can draw anything from that, if you're her, I don't know, like how that would feel, because there is so many similarities.
I mean, she must have thought about it.
You have
because
to.
Even though she didn't know him, it impacted her mom. It impacted her grandmother. Like, and I mean, just the fact that she was always on, like, the character Daisy is always on pills, and Elvis was
heavily
really abusing pills.
Yeah.
And just the scene of it all, like the whole industry. I don't know, like. And at times when she's performing, you can really see his face.
Oh my gosh, they look so similar. If you really look at like side by side, you're like.
If you really look at some of those, like,
if you like me have a mom who is deeply obsessed with Elvis, you would definitely see his face. Yeah. So 10 out of 10. Anyways. This is a gold standard to me for TV or for adaptations of books. I like that they changed some things. I like that they cut out the Pete character. I really don't care about him. And
I loved Warren.
I freaking love Warren.
Popped.
And you know what? I didn't even dislike Eddie that much. That actor made him.
I had sympathy for him.
A likable guy. You're like, I see where you're coming from. But in the book, you're like, what an. So
in the book, for me, Warren was just like kind of a nothing burger in the background. Yeah. And Eddie was a total a-hole.
Yes.
And then in the TV show, I'm like, I love Warren. He's hilarious. So good. He pops. Yes. It's great. And Eddie, I can see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
And
he seems like kind of nice.
It adds texture and it's interesting.
Yes. So I actually liked the changes they made in that aspect a lot.
Oh, and we haven't talked about this at all. But in the book, I loved the whole Graham Karen thing. And in the TV show, you didn't like it?
No, I was not okay when she said...
okay, you weren't okay.
She said, I wasn't completely honest with him. But I was like...
So oh my God. So he says, because in reference to her saying, I don't love you.
Yes.
Whatever. Like, he says, if she hadn't been honest with me, I never would have moved on with my life. Yeah. And then she cuts to her saying,
I wasn't completely honest or whatever.
I wasn't completely honest.
Oh, that killed me. To me, the Graham and Karen story is like more devastating than any other plotline in this book because
and Graham is so sweet.
Yes,
and
their chemistry was really good in the show. I felt like they really had you. They had you buying into that, and he's just like a little puppy guy, and he's like he wanted
the episode. Oh my God, the one where they go to the beach.
Yes,
and she like sees him differently.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
So that was hard.
Like,
and it's understandable. It's like everyone knows, like, even if you haven't been in a relationship like that, I feel like you know what it's like, maybe with a friendship or just in life, to know you're going to different places. And there's no amount of loving each other is going to fix that because what you want out of life isn't the same. And it's just brutal. Like, that is the most brutal thing to me because it's like they loved each other, but it wasn't enough. And that just was like,
Sometimes love isn't enough.
I know. And that's again
That's
what you
just
were
what it
saying
is.
about like when you love someone, like Karen loved him, you are willing to let them go even if it hurts you.
Because you know it's
Yeah,
what's
because
best
you
for
know
them.
it's what's best. So
It's pain.
it's pain.
It's
I love this book.
pain.
I love the show.
And the ability, I think, like, gosh, Taylor Jenkins Reid has clearly been hurt in her life.
Sure.
Because
She
she
must.
writes about hurt pretty well. But it's just, yeah, she's clearly been hurt in her life. It makes you think about love in complex ways, and it's good.
Yes,
It's really good.
I highly recommend it. Even if you didn't read the book, I feel like the show is worth watching.
Yeah, totally. Oh, one other quick small thing. I loved that they cut out the twins.
Yeah, I was like, I don't care about them at all. They add nothing.
Yeah, I don't even. They had nothing,
Yeah.
so glad that was taken out.
Yes. Okay. On to our final topic, and the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Which is, and I just am so glad we had the chance to talk about this because I wasn't sure if we ever would, have the opportunity to discuss this, but luckily we're doing this episode. So, I want to talk about the Lucy Bloom review controversy. And if you haven't heard about this, it is blowing up on the booktok, on the bookstagrams. But basically, I'll set the stage for you. This woman, this girl on, I don't know, young lady on Instagram, her
She's a book account.
Books Through My Veins. Her name is Camilla. Oh, that's fitting. She writes reviews of books, as many, many people do. And she wrote a very mostly positive, measured review of a book called, I think it's called The Manuscript. The Manuscript.
Yeah, The Manuscript by
Lucy Bloom. And she said a few critiques, which we all do. Like, anytime I've written a review or we talk on this podcast, we'll say what we liked, we'll say what we would have maybe not liked or what we would have changed.
And you know what? It doesn't actually matter what we say because we're just people.
Yes, we're just giving our opinions.
We're just giving our opinions.
So this author, she didn't tag the author. She did not tag her or anything. She just hashtagged, the manuscript, hashtag Lucy Bloom. So she was obviously looking at her hashtags. There's nothing wrong with that. She's probably looking to engage. And she goes on.
Wait, hold on, Emily. Should we just read an excerpt
I would love to.
From her original
I would
post?
absolutely love to.
That way you can go in with context about how even this was.
Yes.
And how, honestly non-confrontational it was. So she says...
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see. Let's see. Overall, she ends it like this. Overall, The Manuscript is an entertaining, fast-paced novel that will be a perfect fit for readers that, unlike me, do not get stuck on the minutia. Unfortunately, I was unable to appreciate it more, given my personal preferences when it comes to characterization and relatability. But besides that, she talks about how well-written the book was and great, and just how it wasn't for her, basically.
Yes.
And she mentioned something about she didn't like how all the characters were described as being thin.
Yes. That's it. And so Lucy comes on to this review and just basically loses her mind. First, she comments a thumbs down emoji, which is...
Wait, should we do this? Should we do this should we read back and forth?
I would love to.
All right. So you want to be Lucy or do you want to be Books Through My Veins?
I will be Lucy. I'll take one for the team.
Okay. So here's their exchange.
Okay. Thumbs down emoji. You don't like a book because there's a size 8 character, yet there's all shapes in this book. A soft and squishy best friend, a dad bod lover. I'm sorry. You don't like this book because the protagonist is perfect, but this is a book about her idiotic decisions. Camilla, you say you can't get past details, but you've missed all the details that you criticize.
Hi, Lucy. Do you mean my opinion of your book is invalid because I interpreted your work in the wrong way?
Did I say it was invalid? I have said it's inaccurate. Two very different things. You say you're big on details, but you've overlooked the details to produce an inaccurate review.
Do you think it's fair for you to determine the accuracy of my opinion? I am a reviewer. I share my opinion about books. I am not obliged to love every book I read, which I'm sure also happens to you. It is a shame that you got fixated in these comments, but did not appreciate the comments I gave you and your writing. Reading and appreciating art is subjective. We all interpret things very different ways. There is no accuracy in appreciating novels.
No, you've misunderstood. I'll leave you to your misunderstandings.
I have not misunderstood, Lucy. There were things that I liked about your book and things I did not. Simple as that. You did not like my opinion, and that's on you. I've invested time in reading and reviewing your book respectfully, and I articulated the elements that I did not like. You also know that I invested time in attending your launch and promote your book even after I read it and formed my opinion about it. I truly hope you don't treat other readers like you have treated me. This speaks way more about you as an author than me as a nobody reviewer who posted an opinion on a book.
Amen. And so it doesn't even end here. That's the scene. That's the scene. But she actually goes on Camilla to follow Camilla onto Goodreads, reply again. She sent her DMs to reply even more. She commented again on Goodreads and seemingly started to make some fake accounts, allegedly. Then,
oh my God.
She was like replying to other people. I'm looking through her highlight about this story. Another comment on her Goodreads review, replying to other people in the comments of the original post saying, "Don't waste your time being a troll. You're so pathetic." Going on Facebook to comment about it, she said, "You've literally been smelling your own farts and turned this into something that it never was," because someone called her a bully, and so it continues to go.
Wow.
It continues to go.
The best part of all of this is that now her book has 771 ratings on Goodreads.
Yeah.
With an average of 1.25 because everybody's going on to rate her low for being a troll.
Literally.
To a single reader of her book.
And it makes me, the real question I wanted to discuss is like, in general, most authors are very kind, right? But like, what should authors be doing with booktok, like, or bookstagram, whatever? Should they be like even engaging at all? Should they be looking for these kind of posts? Obviously they should not do what Lucy's doing, but you know, what is, like, you know, it has to be hard to read a negative review, although the one she got was generally very positive and probably would have made people want to read the book for, if not for her behavior.
I know, like, I wonder how she's responding or like internalizing the actual, because people will just say dumb stuff on Goodreads and on stuff. They'll just be like, "I hate it, this book sucks," and it'll be like the Iliad or something.
Exactly.
Like,
and everyone has different opinions. Like, me and you have, again, in this very episode, talked about books we felt differently about.
Opinions.
And like books I rate 5 stars, you'll go in Goodreads and or wherever and see a 1 or 2 star review that you don't agree with. So I don't know. I just don't like, you can't get your feelings out hurt. I know it's hard, but you also don't have to be that mean. You don't have to be a troll.
I mean, here's the thing. I think that if you want to be like a public figure of some level or have some sort of celebrity, you have to like basically anticipate you're going to have haters.
Yeah.
Like, it's just part of it. And not even haters. This person isn't even a hater.
No.
She's just like,
these are some things I
gave a very thoughtful evaluation.
Yes.
But I just kind of think, so at my book club this last weekend, the book we read, I didn't love it. It was a local LA-based author, and the reason we picked it was because this author did a reading and a Q&A at our local independent bookstore. And the book is like set in East LA where I live, and so whatever. But during the Q&A session, she talked a lot about her negative Goodreads reviews, and it's like you could tell that it was really like bothering her. And while I've never written a book and like put myself out there like that, I can imagine that. I don't know. I just think
you do know. Okay, very minorly, obviously, very minorly. We have this podcast. I made a TikTok one time and with a clip from our podcast, and someone called us, I think, mediocre women.
Mediocre women. We were talking about Spare.
Yeah, we were talking. You have to let it roll off your back though, because people just say stuff. Like, people just, they type a comment and they scroll away and they never think about it again. And obviously this review is very thoughtful, but I do feel like, yeah, if you're gonna publish a book, you have to know there's gonna be someone, the best books in the world, people, like you said, the Iliad or something, like, people have given that a 1-star review, I am certain, And
Honestly, it makes me nervous when I see a book that has like no 1-star
yes,
reviews because I'm just like, not enough people have read it.
yeah,
Because there's somebody who will give my favorite book of all time a 1-star review.
yeah, exactly.
And like, you just
It's
deal with it.
okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I thought this was a good, so I was looking through the comments on the original Instagram post,
Yeah.
and another author commented, and I thought this was really a nice way to think about it. She said, author here, reviews are for readers, not for authors, unless it's something like an inappropriately handling a situation and we need guidance going forward. I think this review was incredibly eloquent and well written with the thoughtful feedback that has purpose instead of using words like, quote, I hated this. I'm so sorry you were subjected to such harsh comments from someone who never should have commented in the first place. Thank you for sharing your opinions.
Yeah. I think
that's a really graceful way to put it.
Reviews are for readers. And I think, like I maybe will tag an author in a post if it's a 5-star review, but other than that, like if I'm doing 2 stars, I'm not tagging the author, and I don't think they need to seek that out, like that's not for you. And I would feel uncomfortable if someone was like, "Oh, hey, I'm looking for you." So I can't imagine that was a weird feeling for the reviewer, but yeah, especially on like Instagram or something, that's not the place for you. And ultimately, it doesn't matter. Like, there are books rated 2 stars average probably that sell thousands of copies, and there are books that are rated 5 stars that sell like 10 copies. Like, focus on, marketing your book and not being such a jerk.
And the bummer is, this is her first, so this is the author's like debut novel. I don't see this person getting another book deal.
Well, it was self-published. That is the other wrinkle to this.
Oh.
She had like a team,
Wow.
maybe like a publicist or something. Someone was helping her on the publishing end, like marketing end, I think. But I believe the book was actually self-published. So that's part of the issue as well, probably.
Yeah, like if you had like a publishing house, they would have
cut this off. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh dear.
So
we should probably maybe we should do an episode sometime about like the book business.
Yeah, we should. I don't really know about it.
Have somebody who knows.
I would love
it.
If you know about the book business, please let us know and come on our pod.
You can come on the podcast.
We'd love to talk about it. Anyways.
All right. Well, this has been a long episode.
I know. Actually surprising for us talking about stuff.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it.
I know. Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. Just that I'm going to go read The Circle now. I need a good book to suck me in, and so I hope that will. And
I hope that it works for you.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I can't wait to discuss.
If you don't like it, just DNF.
Okay. That's the moral of today's episode.
DNF.
Okay.
All right.
Bye,
Bye guys.